Hi guys, Debbie here. Welcome to my channel and welcome back. It's super nice to be back. I've had 3 weeks off for those of you that have noticed I've not been around, and I did kind of announce it in my video that I did before I went off on my little break, but I've been doing some stuff in my garden which I'll chat about throughout the video, but I've not really had much time or inclination to do any makeup, but it's lovely to be back. So today's video I'm going to be doing the eye look that I'm wearing right now. I've used the Lois Cosmetics Meet Me in the Underworld palette, which was so much fun. So if you want to see this look come together and just have a general chit chat and catch up with me, then please keep on watching. Okay, hi. So it's lovely to be back filming again. It's been 3 weeks since I filmed a video. I've been doing up my garden, and as I go through the video I'll talk a little bit about that, but it's been taking up all my time. I had 2 weeks off work and we're working solidly on that, like 12 hours a day. So I've not put any makeup on this face for 3 weeks, so I'm really excited to do that today. I've done my base makeup already and my brows, but I thought we could do blush and highlight together before we move on to using the palette. So I bought the McGRATH Divine blushes, 4 of those. So I'm going to use Lovestruck today, which is this colour, really intense pink, but I think it's going to work with the tones in the palette. But we're going to go quite sparingly on the blush until I've figured out how pigmented it is. I think it's going to be okay actually. These blushes are pretty easy to work with. They look intense in the pan, but they are buildable without like sort of being too scary, even though I've gone for the deeper shades. Like I went for the bundle that's got the 3 darkest shades in it, and I'm glad that I did because I love an intense blush. That's a really pretty pink. Getting into pink blush a lot lately. Going to use the Space Age Prophecy highlight from Kaleidos, one of my favourites. Just really wanted to use it today. So yeah, so I'll throw up some pictures as I'm going through doing my makeup today, but we had a area of our garden that just wasn't being used, and we threw some slabs down on this area of garden like 19 years ago when we moved in. And because it's kind of around the corner and you can't see it from like the majority of the garden because we've got an L-shaped garden, we just kind of forgot about that area and just nothing happened really. We just left it as was, and our shed started to collapse and fall down because the age of it, and it's a wood shed. So we decided it would be a good year, as we're not going anywhere, to invest some money and do this area of the garden up. So it was a massive undertaking though, because I'll show you what it used to look like and then I'll show you what it looks like now. And the amount of decking, it's like 3 meters by nearly 10 meters, and my job was painting all of the undersides, the deck boards and all the framework for the deck with like preservative to stop it rotting, and that took about 3 or 4 days, and it was kind of drizzling with rain like most of the time that we were off. The weather's been like not the greatest in the UK for June, July. We just want some nice weather now to enjoy it, because we finally got our outside bar and we've got that all stocked, and yeah, it's just such a lovely space and so exciting. So I just can't wait to start using it really. So that's what I've been doing. So there's just no need to like pile on lots of makeup when you're going to be outside doing manual tasks all day. And it was just me, my husband and my father-in-law for like 10 days working solid in all weathers doing this job. But it's just so nice to be back to do makeup today. So yeah, so I'm going to be playing with the Lois Cosmetics palette. I'll show you how it was packaged because wow, I mean, I think you've probably seen this on other people's channels, but I was like so surprised to see how beautiful it was packaged. It's in just a normal kind of box with their logo on. Whether I'll be able to show you this and do it justice without dropping it. And then inside you've got like a message just taped in there, thank you for buying the palette, but you've also got all of these like leaves, and yeah, it's just really nicely packaged. And then there's a note in there that explains like the theme of the palette. So It says, meet our newest eyeshadow palette, the Grunge Glam collection of shades with warmth, depth and unique twists. Meet me in the Underworld, inspired by the heartbreaking true tale of Orpheus and Eurydice. A classical myth of enduring love and loss that has inspired artists, writers and composers for centuries, and we're no exception. We hope this inspires you as it has us, and that's Lois Cosmetics. And then the whole story is on the back there, which I won't go into. A lot of people have read the whole story out, so I won't do that. But the main thing is trying out the palette, and although I'm on a pretty much low buy to no buy as much as possible, this one really caught my attention because of the beautiful artwork. It's just gorgeous, quite honestly. I love packaging like this that they've just taken so much care and attention over, and it's got a theme, and like the theme runs all the way through. So it's just got a slip case, and then it's cardboard packaging, there's a mirror inside, and then they're the shades, and they're grungy kind of. I think this is more of like a fall palette really, in all honesty, rather than using it in July in the summer. But yeah, I love the sort of olivey greens, grungy greens in there, and then these beautiful raspberry pinks. There's a nice ratio of mattes to shimmers, and as I say, I just love the whole theme of it. And I've got the other two palettes that Lois came out with. I bought those pretty early on when she first started the brand, and that's the Gone Rogue palette, which is a beautiful colourful palette, and the Rose Metal palette. But I knew the quality was going to be awesome on this, and again, that's another reason why I just couldn't resist picking it up, because I love those two palettes so much. Lois, by the way, is an independent brand from the UK, just a one-woman owned brand doing amazing things. This has like taken the indie makeup world by storm. I think she was surprised at how well it's done, but I'm not, because I think it's just such a beautiful concept. So yeah, enough waffle, let's get it on my eyes. So I'm just going to prime with the MAC Soft Ochre paint pot, and I don't know what I'm going to do today. I think I'm going to do a bit of a reverse kind of thing where I have like pink on one side and green on the other, and then the opposite way. Don't know how to explain it, but I'll show you what I mean. But nothing too complicated to achieve. I just really want to play with some makeup today and see if I can still do it, because yeah, it's been a little while, and I've been really good to not buying anything for makeup at all really. I've bought one thing in the last month, and that's the BH Cosmetics Sweet Shop Cotton Candy palette, because they had a restock last week and couldn't resist picking that up. It's the only colourful one that I didn't manage to get when I bought the others, so I've got them all now apart from the cone, the sugar cone. But other than that, I bought no makeup because I've just been buying everything for the bar stools, and like shelving things, the optics for the bottles. It's quite expensive setting everything up. It really goes to show that if you want to achieve other things and you've only got a limited budget, you know, if you spend less on makeup you can do it, because I know I would never have been able to afford it if I was buying makeup like I was last year. So I'm super proud of myself. Kind of going to relax the low buy a little bit now, because we've achieved what we wanted to with that. So yeah, I might buy the odd thing here and there now, so we'll see how that goes, but I'm not going to go crazy. I've learnt a lot of lessons from doing my low buy. Alright, so my plan, I want to use the shade Nymph today, and I want to use the shade Snake Bite. So these two shades, I'm going to put one of them on the upper part of my lids here, and then the other one on that side, and then reverse it underneath. So let's do that. I think to tie it all together, I'm going to use just a gold on my lids, so just this Orpheus shade, which looks a beautiful reflective gold. I'm going to start with Nymph on this eye. Just going in with a Morphe M506, just going to place it to start with. I'm going to kind of do a rounded shape. I'm going to take it slow to try and get the shape that I want. So how have you guys been? What have you been doing in the last 3 weeks or so since I've last been on here? I've really missed filming and miss you guys. I went back to work this past week, and I don't like to film in the week when I'm working really anymore. And so I was waiting for this weekend to have some time to film. My husband's at work this morning, so it was perfect. He works every other weekend, so that's when it's really easy for me to film, because I always feel like when we've only got the weekends together and the weekend is the only time I film, if I'm filming, the process takes me 4 or 5 hours from end to end to do one video. We've not got much time to do anything else at the weekends then, but if he's working I don't feel so bad for doing it. Alright, that's blending out really nicely. It was a little bit patchy to start with as I was laying it down on a sticky base, but I think it looks really nice now. I'm going to blend it a little bit with this shade Myth, I think. And I might use that as my blending shade for both the pink side and the green side. I think that'll work. And then what I want to do is do what I've done with the green on this eye, but underneath this eye. Never really done a look like this, a reverse kind of eye like this. I see other people do them, I've never been brave enough to try, so first time back doing makeup after 3 weeks, decide to do something completely out of my comfort zone, but why not? I think in my waterline I'll just take something like a creamy colour, something like that, something neutral. That's working really nicely on the lower lash line. Just going to change brush though, see if I can get a little bit closer. So then I'm going to go into Snakebite and we're going to do the same thing but in reverse on the top here and the bottom there. I like these shades for the fact that they're quite easily controllable. Like the pigment's definitely there, but they're buildable shades. I think this was the perfect one to come back with when I'm feeling a little bit kind of like, can I even do makeup anymore, because it's been like so long since I've done it. It's a good one to use because it's not difficult to use at all. Beautiful raspberry pink. It's actually less sort of wintry and grungy than I thought it was going to turn out. This pink's quite vibrant actually. Just taking that neutral kind of Myth shade again, just to use as a bit of a blending out shade. And then we're going to take Snakebite on the bottom of this eye. Yeah, I love these two-tone looks, but it needs to be kind of brought together with something that's common between the two. So I think gold on the lids is definitely going to work, and I'm going to intensify the outer V with the black in the palette, I think. Again, I just want to get super close to that lower lash line, so I'll just change to a smudge brush there. I think looking at the symmetry here, we're higher on this eye than this eye, so I'm just going to add a little bit more of that Nymph shade. Just in this outer corner there. I think that might just help. It's one of these looks where symmetry is key, and I'm not very good at symmetry. I think it sometimes helps to keep your eye open when you're doing this as well, because you can see how much of the shadow can be seen above your eye. I think that's a little bit better. So now I just want to take the black in the palette, Underworld, this one here, and just create a little bit of intensity in the outer V. I always feel like I want a little bit more drama. I like my looks to have a bit of depth. This is quite a nice black actually. Easy to use, no fallout really, and it's definitely giving us that little bit of intensity that I wanted in the outer V. Using a Morphe E36 here because I just want to be really precise. Just going to take a bit of the Snakebite shade just to help with that blend there. A bit more tricky to blend the black with this pink than it was with the green. It's blended really nicely with the green. It's just because the pink is lighter. So I'm going to go with NYX Glitter Primer all over the lid space that I've got left until we get to the black area there, and then I'm going to use that gold shade on both eyes just to give us that tie into the two just to make it a bit more cohesive. So as I say, we're taking the gold, which is Orpheus. That's the most glitzy of the shimmers, so looking forward to seeing how that looks. Oh yes, that's a beautiful gold. That's stunning. That's pretty much one swipe opacity. That's a really, really impressive shimmer. I love these kind of foiled metallic wet look shimmers like this. It's smooth as well, it doesn't have any gritty particles or anything in it, so it's probably more my preference than ones like the Glam Light ones where, or the Beauty Bay ones where they've got lots of glitter in. I don't really enjoy those so much. This is definitely more my kind of shimmer. Still shows up really, really glitzy and reflective without that gritty feel. I'm going to keep it simple and just use that gold as my inner corner and sort of onto my lower lash line highlight as well. Just wrap that around. Just go back in just with the black just to kind of mesh everything in this outer corner. Okay, so that's the eye look right now. Just going to hop off camera for something in my waterline, a little wing liner, mascara and a lip, and I'll be back with you with the finished look and to wrap up the video. Okay guys, so this is the finished look. Really love how it turned out actually. I've never, as I say, done this two-tone thing, and I really love how it looks. It's kind of easy to create but also interesting as well, but not to the point where I wouldn't feel comfortable going out in it. So yeah, I really like it. For my waterline, I decided to go with a gold. This is Ory Flash by LH Cosmetics. And then for my wing liner, I've gone with a green, mainly because my black NYX Epic Ink has run out, so I had to be a bit creative. I've gone with the number 7 Stay Perfect in the green shade. It doesn't actually say the shade name on these. And then my lipstick today, it's the first outing for this one, Ghost with the Most from the Melt Beetlejuice collection, and I think it goes perfectly with the vibe of the look. So yeah, that was the look. Really enjoyed playing with this palette. I knew I would because I love Lois Cosmetics quality. I knew that I would from the Gone Rogue and the Rose Metal, how much I enjoyed those. I would say if you're on the fence about getting the palette, you won't be disappointed if you go for it. The thing to bear in mind is that the shadows, the mattes are kind of a buildable formula. They're not particularly kick-uppy, so they're really beginner friendly I think, but you can get quite an intense look out of them. And they are opaque, but they just take some building. I think that's a great thing actually, as I say, if you're new to makeup particularly. The shimmers, I mean, I'm familiar with the shimmers from the other palettes. Some of them are like a bit more glitzy and foiled, and some are a bit more subtle. I went for the more of the glitzy one there in this video, but I can tell by sort of looking at the others, some of them aren't as glitzy as this one, so there's a variety of finishes in the shimmers. I think the ratio there of like pretty much half and half. There's 7 shimmers and there's 9 mattes. I think that's perfect. I think it's a grungy dream of a colour story. I love the shade pairings together and just how well it's been executed with the packaging and the overall theme. So yeah, I really enjoyed playing with this one. Can't wait to play with it a bit more come sort of fall time and Halloween. I think it really plays into like that grungy sort of vibe that I really enjoy at that time of year. So yeah, a lot of fun creating this one, and it's lovely to be back. Gonna do a palette from the past as my next video, and I haven't really decided what I want to do it on. So if you guys enjoy those videos, drop a comment, let me know what you'd like to see me do. But I'm thinking maybe Juvia's Place, one of the older Juvia's Place palettes. So if you'd like to see that as well, please let me know. But other than that guys, thank you for being so patient with me while I had another 3 weeks off. I've been very inconsistent on my channel this year, but I want to try and at least get a video once a week from this point onwards. And as I say, I'm going to be relaxing my low buy to a degree, so we'll be buying the odd new thing here and there to kind of mix things up and keep things interesting while still not going crazy and getting, you know, 20 palettes a month or whatever like some YouTubers do. I just want to use my collection and I don't want to feel overwhelmed, but I still don't want to feel tied that I can't bring new things in as well. So yeah, that's the plan. But as I say, thank you for watching, guys, and sticking with me. I hope you're keeping safe and well, and hope you're having a lovely day or night wherever you are. Catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.